Well, gentlemen, first of all, welcome to Bermuda. I'm not sure if it's your first time to Bermuda, but welcome.
Thank you.
Give us a bit of your history in officiating and to get to the pinnacle of our sport, to be able to officiate at that level.
Yeah, thank you first of all for having us here. Wonderful people. I mean, our history is just like the journey of a player. We started loving the game, playing the game, and then one coincidence, one day we were invited to help referee, and then we saw the passion in refereeing, but we also saw how great of a seat you have when you're in the middle of a match and you love the game. So for me, and Corey will also talk about his journey, it was started with the youth, and then we moved up the ladder, and then we saw there's a dream of the World Cup that could be in sight, and we went for it.
Sure.
So that was the Corey?
Yeah, I started in refereeing in 1999, realizing that there's a challenge outside of the field as a player, and an opportunity to you stay involved. You're able to contribute in a different way, and the game needs you there too. So once that opportunity to stay involved, to start to travel, to experience the world, and to realize there's a challenge there that is always going to keep going. You're not always going to get things right, but you have a chance to learn and grow with the game. So that opportunity drove me to stay involved, really from the very beginning.
Take us a bit. The players show so much passion when they qualify for a World Cup, but to actually see your names down for a World Cup, take us through that emotion, because a lot of people make sacrifices for you to get to that goal. You know what I mean? Take us through the emotion of once you get that phone call, that email, that just seeing your name, that you'll be officiating in the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, participating in the World Cup is the dream of every referee. A minute fraction of referees make it to the World Cup. But I can tell you that one thing we had in ourselves is full confidence in our ability and a process to get there. So we were not deterred by the fact that we're not coming from a quote-unquote soccer nation. But no, we can prove people wrong that we come from a soccer region with CONCACAF, and we can make the World Cup, and we're not just going to go and participate. It's another thing. It wouldn't be worth it to just go and show up and do a game. We said, hey, we're going to participate, and we're going to actually try to make ourselves be present for knockout stage matches, and even for considerations for deeper matches like semifinals or finals. So we went with that type of confidence, and it's something we've been dreaming about for 3.5 years. We've been working for it for 3.5 years. So that May morning, mid-May in the morning, when I got that first email that says the list has been released and your name is there, the first thing that comes to mind is I called my dad. I said, Dad, we made it. I said, we made it. Because it took a journey to get there. A lot of teachers, a lot of mentors, a lot of support, friends, family, federation, colleagues, push you get there, because it's a grind to get there. So it was a dream moment come true.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a surreal feeling. It's a surreal feeling to see your name on that list with not just your friends and your colleagues, but folks all over the world that you know and you have gone through this journey with. But the support system that we have is second to none between CONCACAF, our federation, our colleagues, our families who are really there. They see the work day to day, and game to game that you're growing and you're learning and you're working towards that bigger goal. So it's such a surreal feeling, but really one that we've worked so hard to achieve. So it was a fantastic feeling just to finally see it come to fruition.
Yeah. Now, having the opportunity to speak with the Bermuda contingent of officials, what's your message to them? They're young, but they're aspiring to do what you guys have done. What's your message to them?
Well, like we shared with them in the room, it has to start with their own belief that's backed up with a process to get there. You can dream and believe that, yeah, I can make it to the World Cup, but if you don't have an actual process of where, when, how, then it's just going to be a dream. So my message to them is, first of all, get the confidence level to tell yourself, I want to be there, I can be there, I deserve to be there. And once you're convinced of that, sit down and map out the process, steps that need to happen. And you have a lot of support. The people that were in the back of the room from the Bermuda FA behind them, it's a lot of commitment, a lot of support. So I told them, you need to get with them and go, okay, how do we get there? What's the grind? Because it's a grind. And us being here is one step towards that, is let's start learning on the field through the practical sessions we'll have tomorrow with players, and also in the classroom. And you guys are making everything available for them by preparing the field, bringing the players, making all the facilities available, and bringing us over, plus the instructors that you guys have. Then they have some key elements to get there. And our message to them is take advantage of those and be ready to fail. I told them to be ready to fail, because only through failure you can progress. And we went through some failures to progress. The last thing I told them is get out of your comfort zone. You're in the island, everybody knows everybody, but this is not where you're gonna grow. This gives you a good foundation, but then get out to tournaments that CONCACAF makes available. We'll make some tournaments available to them in the US, especially in the regions that we're familiar with, so tournaments that we have and we'll bring them over, and we have plans to bring some of them over, and they have to get out and be exposed. So God willing, they'll achieve their dream.
Yeah, and as Ismail mentioned, it's a grind, yes, but they're doing the right things. The resources are here to support them in this process, and they can control the physical, but this process is about the mental. It's very complex. So having a chance to just start here with looking at videos, doing that analysis, talking to their peers, working with their instructors, their fitness coaches, this brings it all together. And so you're really setting the foundation for the future by doing these little things. And the last slide we shared with them that we had in our presentation today was keep dreaming, right? If you can see it out there, you can achieve it. And that's something that we have done, is you set goals for yourself. And yes, it might take time, but you'll get there, right? So follow the process and it will come to fruition.
Yeah. Now, if I was speaking to you when you were 5 years old, and I said to you, you would one day be a FIFA official officiating a World Cup match, what would you have told me?
No, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I mean, not 5 years old. You could have asked me when I was 20 years old,
yeah,
and I'm still playing, or even when I started refereeing. First few years, it's such a daunting type of place to get to. Less than 36 referees were at the World Cup, and you're talking about every 4 years. So tremendous competition. Our region, CONCACAF, gets about 4 to 5 slots, right? And there are 33 nations in CONCACAF or so, something over 30, like something like that. I mean, it's a bit intimidating, but there was a point, right? There was a point when we changed our perspective and we go, we can do this. We deserve to be there, because we were exposed a little bit more to the other countries, the other referees, the other levels, and we saw what we were doing and how much we were putting into it and how much others were supporting us, and we're like, why not? And that's when the switch, got flipped. And for us, that was around that 2019, 2018 time frame when we said, 4-year project, we're gonna go for it. That was how we approached it.
Yeah, I mean, at 5 years old, I was probably wanted to be a firefighter or a basketball player or something completely different, right? But it's exactly right. That process that we followed, we got an opportunity. We were given an opportunity in 2019 when we started together, and we succeeded. And right then, you belong. And you fit in that environment. And that challenge is out in front of you, and you met hurdle number 1, right? There's another 100 more to go, but we can do it. And that really it's motivating. It's fulfilling, because you didn't know if you could get there or do it, and then all of a sudden one day your switch is flipped and okay, I'm ready for this. And you have a long runway, but we got there, and we continue to try to go there because it's really a continued journey. It doesn't stop just because we went to the World Cup. It's something we want to continue to do and continue to achieve more. So it's a great opportunity. Now
that the region is hosting the next World Cup, how much more competition is it for official spots to get in there? And we have more teams now.
Yeah, I think I see the more teams is a great opportunity for obviously more referee spots. But another thing that people might not know is FIFA referee department no longer looks at what country you're from or whatever. They look at quality. So they don't care if you're from Costa Rica, the US, Brazil, Bermuda. If you have the quality on the field, right? The fitness, the football understanding, the ability to manage the game, manage the players, they're gonna put you there. They're gonna put you there. And my message to my colleagues and family over here in Bermuda is, first of all, you need more players refereeing. More players need to referee. Refereeing right now is a profession. and you can actually become a professional referee in the US. We have professional referees that were not born in the US. Myself, I was not born in the US, but if that's the dream that you want, and you come in and you go through the same process as everyone else, you will be given an opportunity. If you get invited to a FIFA event and you go and show the quality, they're not going to look at your country. They're not going to look at where you came from. They're going to look at your performance. So I think there's an opportunity with the World Cup being in our backyard here in the US and Mexico and Canada to give it a shot. Because who would have thought that you would have female women referee at the World Cup? Who would have thought that an American referee crew would be in the final of the World Cup? You ask people 10 years ago, they'd be like, you kidding? But no. And then 4 years from now, why not at least be in strong consideration to be selected for the World Cup? If you don't get selected, you've given it your best shot. But to eliminate yourself and say, oh, I'm from a small island, I'm not going to be given a shot, that's not doing yourself and your FA a service. So my message to you is go for it. Get more players refereeing and go for it. Go for the chance.
And it's a bigger event, more teams, they need more referees, as Ismail said, and the exposure in this region is going to be tremendous. All aspects of this region will be impacted. You're going to have a ton of different stadiums, a ton of different cultures are going to be impacted. Everyone is going to come into this area, in this region, and it's just going to be a fantastic opportunity, not only for the game of soccer, but for the referees to be involved, to contribute, and not just at the World Cup, but all along the way, because there's many, many milestones that lead up to a World Cup and many events that are a part of that in developing the teams, the coaches, the administrators, the referees, all to make it a successful World Cup in 2026. So a lot to go, but a lot of good work will go into that.
Well, I want to thank you guys for your time. Also want to thank you for coming to Bermuda. Hopefully the sponge that you guys are about to pour over these guys here in Bermuda is actually, taken in, and we could see one of them or maybe two of them at the pinnacle of our sport in 2026.
Thanks for having us.
We hope so.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.